My beloved wife cheated on me and my daughter isn't mine. How can I move forward as well as shake angry feelings? This is going to be a lengthy one. My wife and I have been married for 21 years. I assumed it was one of those miracle marriages since we never fought, I appeared to be the best of friends, and so on. A buddy gave our 15-year-old daughter a 23andMe item for her birthday. And, of course, it said that we were not related. She had me do a swab as well as her mother and her 14-year-old brother. Her brother and I were the only ones who appeared to be linked. So I took a paternity test, and lo and behold, she wasn't my kid. My ex-wife begged and pleaded for me to listen to her, but I became numb to her. It's one thing to cheat, but discovering that the light of my life isn't even remotely connected to me destroyed me. Don't get me wrong, I adore my child. Regardless, she is still my daughter. But what scares me the most are my ostensibly spiteful urges. I've never been like this before, and I know it's because I'm angry, but I want her to suffer so much. The youngsters despise her to the core. On the one hand, this encourages that desire, but I know that deep down, she is still their mother, and I don't want them to despise her. Her parents and siblings are all embarrassed by her. Her sister hasn't called her in a few months. We all grew up together, so it hit hard for everyone. Again, this makes me feel amazing, which terrifies me since I don't want her life to be in ruins. But I can't help but feel happy when I realize that something in her life is crumbling. Both children are living with me since they don't think much of their mother right now. I'm thinking of having the conversation regarding them talking to her since they're currently refusing. The aspect that crushes my heart the most is that my daughter seems to be overcompensating for her daughterly responsibilities. She always tells me how much she loves me and is, in essence, the ideal daughter. But I can tell she's doing it because she knows she's not biologically but she urgently wants me to know how much she loves me. I'm really going to speak to her about it tonight. Telling her that she doesn't have to change her behavior. I simply want to know how to get rid of the melancholy and furious, vengeful sentiments. I want to go on and assist my children move forward so they don't have to worry about school and adolescence. Please, any advice would be much appreciated. Story 2. I found out my husband of 23 years has been having an affair. We've been together for 23 years. We've been dating since high school, and I assumed everything was okay. We have one kid who will turn 19 the next week. We were talking about retirement plans and reducing our house for when our son leaves. The problem started 2 years ago when he met his buddy, who I now know is his affair partner. He would drop everything to go aid him during the previous year or so. He would cancel dates or arrangements with me in order to spend time with him. On occasion, he would even bring him along with us on date evenings. This buddy had a frigid demeanor toward me. I had no idea why. When I brought it up with my husband, he just dismissed it or told me that the buddy was shy or that he didn't mean it. So, like an idiot, I trusted him. God, I'm such a... Things simply clicked for me after I wrote the post. As a result, I approached him. I questioned him why he kept canceling our arrangements to go see the buddy, if he was doing it on purpose, and he agreed. So I questioned whether there was anything more between them than friendship, and that's when he dropped the bomb. They'd been in a romantic relationship for more than a year. I couldn't decide whether to weep or vomit. He informed me he feels he is and is perplexed. He claimed he loves me, but he also loves him and is at a loss for what to do. I informed him that his uncertainty about his was no justification for cheating and gave him till yesterday night to leave the home. I spent the night before with my sister. I informed her he cheated on me and that I was leaving him, but that's all she knows. Tomorrow afternoon, I'll meet with a divorce lawyer. Since he acknowledged to the affair and I left, my husband has been blowing up my phone. He begs me to take him back. He told me he was going to cease his romance with his pal. He's been sobbing and pleading with me not to forsake him, but I can't bring myself to speak to him. My son came to my sister's after work, and I simply informed him that his father and I were divorcing, and that he confessed to having an affair. My kid inquired about the affair partner, and I told him that he should speak with his father if he wanted more information. As much as I despise the guy right now, I do not believe it is my place to reveal his orientation. And God, I despise this dude right now. My son departed and supposedly got into a big argument with his father, telling him he was dead to him. I returned home this morning and became physically ill as soon as I parked into the driveway. My abode is a house of deception. I am the world's greatest blunder. I'm a walking farce. He left me a letter by the coffee pot every morning, telling me I was the love of his life and that nothing or no one could ever alter that, and all I could do was weep. I've wept so much in the past 24 hours that I don't believe I have any more tears. I'm at a loss for what to do or where to go. I'd rather be anywhere except here. Is what I'm doing correct? Am I being too dramatic? Is it possible to forgive him and go on, or will he merely do it again, this time more sneakily? Do I want to live the rest of my life wondering about if he'll cheat on me with another buddy or a stranger? I'm at a loss on what to do. He was my pillar of strength. He was my closest companion. At moments like these, I would turn to him for comfort, yet he is the source of my anguish, and I'm at a loss for what to do. Story 3. How do you get over with betrayal and getting cheated on? My ex-girlfriend and I split up in October of this year. We had been together for nearly 4 years. We want to get married and have a lovely married life. I'm prepared to work till I'm able to purchase the nicest ring for our engagement and offer her the best wedding possible. Then I came upon a Facebook page with a photo of her with a man's arm around her. I was in denial, telling myself that the guy was probably his cousin or something. But my intuition told me something was awry, so I opened my messenger and went into her account. And, at first, I couldn't locate my name in her email. It turns out that I was designated as spam. Then I saw the man's name in her inbox and opened it. Even after hearing them call one another love and speak about doing, and her calling him handsome, I was still in denial. So I got back into my messenger and saw her send me loads of I love you and kisses, which I thought was beautiful and wonderful. Are you flirting with this man? I addressed her. I'm going to sleep, she said. She abruptly shifted from someone I know well to someone I don't even recognize. Everything begins to make sense. Now I was stunned. My hands were trembling. It's difficult to breathe, and my heart is racing like it's about to burst. So I called her, but she didn't answer. I had never been betrayed before, so I was perplexed at the moment. The following day, she said she'd come over to my house to talk things over. So I sat and waited. And then I waited. And then I waited. She didn't show up till 9 p.m. I drafted and sent a last farewell note. She responded a few minutes later, I'm sorry I couldn't make it, but I also don't want to show up. I apologize for everything. I questioned her once again, when asked, when did you have a new boyfriend? She said, I don't have a new one. I stopped caring about you 6 months ago. I wish you had informed me sooner. I remarked. She said, I tried to love you the way I used to, but I couldn't because I was sick and tired of you. So I'm calling it quits on you. Bye, my love, I said. I quickly stopped contacting her following the split, thinking it was for the best. I was stunned for the first week. My family said she cheated, but despite the proof I acquired, I refused to believe them. Because, as I already said, treachery is new to me, I was unable to grasp it right away. I also couldn't believe this was happening since I loved her so much. She seems pregnant right now, I believe, since she has suddenly gained a lot of weight. By the way, the guy turns out to be her employer. I'm sure if I saw her pregnant, I'd fall to my knees and wail. That would be sad. Following a closer examination of the material, I discovered that she began entertaining this guy the day she started her work in June of this year. But I only uncovered 2 days' worth of texts. What more might I have discovered if she hadn't deleted the earlier ones? And I recall her entertaining another guy in April, and she's now entertaining my college professor. It creeps me out. That professor was perhaps 20 years her senior. It's been a month since we split up. I'm still envious of her being with another guy who is better than me. Her happiness and discovering her true love. While I lost mine, I'm feeling much better today, but I can't shake the sensation that she's fallen out of love with me and it's all my fault. Because she was weary and sick of me, she did what she did. How do you deal with treachery and being dumped? Thank you ahead of time. Overall, I believe I handled the matter poorly, but I pledge to do better next time.